and you have to rethink, you have to somehow make your own conclusion. What is left in you, what kind of mark left in you. And to talk about these things, it's not, maybe it doesn't make me look so successful or something like that, but to be really, really honest, I very much appreciate in life the honesty in people, honesty in, in all the things, true things, the reality of everything. And I want to be also like that. I want to be real to myself, just to begin with. So if I'm not being real with myself, then I don't know, I'm just lying.
Good morning, Giedrė. It's so great to meet you.
Good morning, dear Petra. Yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Nice to chat with you.
Lovely. But tell me, where are you based?
So I'm based right now in Lithuania, which is my home country, and in the second largest city of Lithuania, that it's called Kaunas. But still the city is very small because the country, the Lithuania, I don't know if you've been here.
I know, I've never been to Lithuania.
I invite you to come and visit.
Lovely.
I'll gladly show you around.
Amazing. Well, everybody that I've met that came from Lithuania have all been such lovely people. So I would love to go.
Great to hear. Yeah. So really, I invite you to come. It's actually such a beautiful country. It has a lot of parks, a lot of forest. It's very green. We have a lot of lakes and, of course, Baltic Sea. We have a lot of nature, and it's small. Yeah. It's kind of cozy country,
Really. And you, so you did your music training and everything in Lithuania?
Yes, I started in Lithuania when I was born. And I started as a little girl. I started to play when I was five years old. Yeah. And I finished, how do we call it, a high school, to say it like that, in a specific school that was for, really talented children, So I was studying the regular mathematics, history, and etc., and also music.
Sorry, wait a second.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry. This has never happened. My speaker went off, so I couldn't hear you. Okay.
It's always a first time. It's good that you know how to deal with these things.
Yeah, this is a special interview now, really. Okay, so start just from that part where you went
about my studies.
Yeah.
So I started to play the piano when I was 5 years old, and I finished high school here in Lithuania, in the capital of Lithuania, in Vilnius, and then I moved to Spain.
Oh, okay.
And I was studying there my superior, my bachelor, and then I started master also in Spain. Then I moved to Mexico.
But why Spain? Why did you go to Spain?
For several reasons. First, after I finished, when I was actually in my last year, or maybe 2 last years now, I can remember exactly. I knew really well that I wanted to go somewhere. I wanted to move. I wanted to leave also. I wanted to see the world, and I really needed more experiences. And I had a friend that was already living in Spain, in Barcelona, when I moved immediately after Lithuania. So she told me about the school. She was also in the high music school. And she told me about this one professor And she said, hey, maybe you would like to come and to try. And I went. I met this professor that I immediately fell in love. I knew that I want to study with this person. And I made my entrance exam and I went to Spain. And actually, I really wanted to go to Spain because I wanted to change the weather. It was too cold in Lithuania already for me.
But at what age did you really think that you wanted to be a pianist?
Difficult question. I actually don't know. It's happened really naturally.
Okay.
I started to play, well, in the beginning, I believe, as for a lot of children, it's something really playful. You know, you don't think, you just do it. And if you like it, you go on doing it. And I believe when I moved to this specific school for really talented children, I didn't decide that I want to do, but I chose somehow that I want music to be part of my life. I was quite small, I think, at the time. And I don't know, it really happened. Everything happened naturally. I just really liked playing the instrument, the piano. And I wanted to keep on doing it. And I still do.
Well, but was it your choice when you were little, or was it influence from your parents to want to play piano?
No, it wasn't an influence. I mean, my first piano teacher, she saw some kind of specific something in me that maybe you are really able to do it in a more professional way. So she just told to my parents, and she suggested maybe you want to do it more professionally. And I immediately said, yes, I really want to do.
Really?
And my parents, they are not musicians, so they had their doubts in the beginning. But as I really wanted to do it, it wasn't like nothing pushed me to do it. I really, really wanted to play. So they said, okay, let's try. Let's see what will happen. And I was just really wanted to play, and I was playing a lot.
But now from Spain, so how many years did you stay in Spain?
In Spain, I lived for around 9 years.
Okay.
I finished my superior, then I finished my master. I started to work there. I met my husband there, so I really started to my adult life, let's say, like that in Spain. And then after Spain, I moved to Mexico. And I was living for 1 year in Mexico. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I came back to my home country.
Why Mexico?
So I just turned around and I came back.
But what made you go to Mexico? Because that's quite far.
Yeah, my husband, he is a Mexican. I mean, he's half Spanish and half Mexican. His family lives in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
And the pandemic started, and we really started to think what we want to do next. In Spain, a lot of things closed, and just we were thinking what we want to do, and we decided that maybe let's go to try how things are going there in Mexico. And we went there and we spent 1 year, and then our lives turned to the other way and we came to Lithuania. So now we're both living here.
Amazing how your paths then go from one place to another.
Yeah.
Now you are now finished with your studies. So are you now performing and?
Yeah, I'm most of my time I'm teaching children to play piano.
Wonderful.
I try them to like it as much as I do. Mm-hmm. And I perform from time to time. I perform as a soloist, and also with my husband we're playing a duo because he's a guitarist. So we started to do like piano and guitar duo, and we're playing also from time to time. We're arranging some concerts, and it's interesting. It's something for me. It's really new. And because these two instruments are not, well, let's say, in the best relationships, because the piano is huge. It's a huge instrument with a really potential sound. In guitar, it's kind of a small, intimate instrument. So to find this balance is really, we have some work to do. But it's interesting. We do like it, and we like to play together.
But this is, I've never heard of a duo like that. So this was also interesting when you said that these two instruments.
It's not that common. Well, now from time to time I see in the hall, some kind of hall repertoire, that there's a concert of piano and guitar. But 10 years ago, it wasn't something that you can listen often. Because there's not so much repertoire. You really need to do a research to find what you can play, and to maybe have some arrangements of some pieces. And it's not that comfortable, maybe, these two instruments. But as we both are musicians and we like so much to spend time together, so we decided, let's try to let's see how it goes.
So do you do the arrangements yourself?
No. Well, my husband, he did some parts of a guitar, from I don't know, from violin maybe to guitar, or from cello. I did not. I was lucky, and all the parts for the piano, it was originally written for the piano. Or maybe harpsichord, that it's basically the same. So no, I did not do that.
So what are there specific composers that you use, or the music that you play? Do you have specifics, or do you just decide on something?
We just recently we were doing more research because we wanted to expand our repertoire. We started to play with small pieces, from smallest pieces. Basically, Spanish composers, they have some repertoire for these two instruments. For Italian, for example, Luigi Boccherini, or a Spanish composer Isaac Albeniz. He has more repertoire for guitar and piano. But we started from maybe 2 or 3 pieces, and we decided that if we want to keep going and to play more, so we really need to expand our repertoire. So we were trying to look more. We actually found another duo, Belgium duo, that also the guy is guitarist and the girl is the pianist.
Really?
And but they live in Belgium, and they did some arrangements of some pieces, of some impressionist pieces from French composers. So we kind of asked them, can you just pass us in?
And they are eager to do that. So
somehow it is.
That's amazing that they do that. But now, when you play together, so you must learn then from each other as well. So you must learn something from his instrument, from the guitar, and him from yours, to be able to understand the different instruments and how you put them together.
I would not choose maybe a word to learn, but you have to try to adapt as much as you can. I don't know, from my perspective. Maybe some other pianist who is playing with the guitarist would tell you another thing. But from my perspective, for me, the most difficult part is to find that perfect balance, that piano would not be too much, but would also feel that it's present, it's here, and that would have that perfect, I don't know, that perfect sense of both instruments playing, not just one playing and another accompanying, just two even instruments, even parts in music. So for me personally, that's the most difficult.
Yeah, I can see that if it's not that way, if you don't balance the two, then it might look as if you are accompanying him with the piano. Yeah, so you have to get that. Yeah.
Yeah, or also as I told before, because piano, it has to start with, it's much bigger instrument than guitar. So if I would not manage to find that balance, so I would sound as I'm the soloist and just listen to me and the guitar is just sitting there. So yeah, it's really the difficult part in it for me. And guitar also, the guitarist part is also to try that guitar would sound as much as it can, because the instrument is really intimate. It has this I don't know, much purer sound than piano. Piano, you can sound as an orchestra sometimes, the guitar is just it's difficult, and it's also difficult to explain.
Yeah. Well, Giedrė, I think you've got the upper hand there. So if he doesn't take the trash out, then you can play louder.
Okay.
use your advantage.
My position. I will.
But you were talking about teaching as well, and you sound quite passionate about the fact that you're teaching. So tell me about that.
I don't know. It's interesting that I sound passionate.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to be really, really honest, teaching music has never been, let's say, my dream. It's just also another thing that came to my life really, really natural. And I think it's every musician, every young musician, when he or she finishes school, finishes superior school, and starts to wonder, okay, so what should I do next? What should I do now? I mean, nobody knows you. You don't have maybe so many contacts. You want to play concerts, but you don't know where to start. So all the paths somehow lead you to teaching. Start to teach music. I don't know. I think that it happened for me also naturally. As I said, it has never been my dream, because I thought that I am not I'm not such a patient person.
Okay.
Somehow I realized I am.
Okay.
or I don't know, maybe with the time I learn. Also because working with children, you can learn a lot from them. Sometimes they're teaching me, I'm teaching their music, but they are teaching me some other things. That's what I really like about working with children. They are really honest. They are so open. And I don't know, the communication with children is different than communication with the adults, So yeah, I'm working with them, and I think we have good results. Some of them are playing in competitions, so that's really I don't know how to say. It really requires a lot of patience to work with children, and if you want to in the end have a good result, if you want them really to learn, you really have to be patient and take your time in it.
But I always admire musicians who teach, or artists who teach, because
really? Why?
Because I think, you have so much to give, and you had the opportunity when you were a child. So there must have been that one teacher that inspired you to teach. So you are again that person, that teacher in that child's life. And you never know, you never know this child. It might be, I always think, it might be somebody who will never become a concert pianist or will never take it further as a career, but you've developed that appreciation for the music, and that child will one day be the audience member, and that child will one day be the one that goes to the concert hall to admire the concert.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's that chain that you're creating as musicians, as artists, to teach and to inspire and to also create appreciation. So it's not always about the result in the sense that every pupil is going to be the star or
the concert
pianist, pianist.
Mm-hmm.
But that they will be, and I also think teaching art for children creates other skills. You develop other skills for them. So
no, it's actually really true what you just said. I completely agreed. And for me, I personally, I am really, and I was when I was studying, I was so lucky because every teacher that I had, it's inspired me, and I really learned a lot from. I didn't have one teacher. I have a lot in the piano because it's individual, specific. And I was really, really lucky to work with each of my professors. So now when I'm teaching myself and I see children that are coming and really, really want to learn, I'm really happy because when the child is coming and his or her eyes are burning because they want to learn it, and when they listen to you play, they say, when will I learn to play like that? It really inspires you. Also, you want to do your best, you want to give your best, and that's what you're trying to do in the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing that you do that, really.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, there's not everybody are coming like that.
Yeah.
Some of them really, you can feel that maybe the parents are pushing them. And your job in these conditions are starting to be much more difficult, when the child doesn't want to play, but he just needs to because mother or father is pushing him or her. So there's not much you can do. I mean, the professor, the teacher, is not a magician. He cannot do magic.
Yeah.
You also need to put from your interior. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not easy all the time, and
not
every child,
not.
But like you say, then you learn something about yourself.
Yes. Yeah. For instance, I thought that I'm not a patient person. Yeah. I thought that I cannot work with children because no. I mean, you explain one time, and if he or she doesn't get it, then you just don't know what to do. But no, with the time, I really learn also how to teach, how to talk to them, what to expect, what not to expect, what things should I give more time, what things we need to do in the classroom. I mean, all these things you really learn, but just need to have more experience. As in everything, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But you mentioned also now that when you want to do concerts and get out there, and it's not always easy. So you don't study just a few years, you study your lifetime.
Exactly.
And it keeps on studying and master degrees and so on. So is that the difficult part? Do you think that you can do it, but it's how to get yourself out there and how to market yourself in a way?
That's the perfect question. I mean, I think that it's that is the most difficult part, because when you are a student, doesn't matter at school or in superior school, there are teachers that are teaching you how to play, what can you do better in your technique, in your sound. I mean, whatever it is related with the instrument. But then when you're leaving the school, you realize that nobody taught you how to manage to find the concerts, you know. And in my case, I mean, I really appreciate all the opportunities that I had and my personal experiences in life. But as I change so many countries and so many places, that makes for me even more difficult, you know, because as I said before about the teaching, everything needs more time. I mean, nothing is done in 2 days or in 2 weeks or in 1 year sometimes. You need to be more time at that place, or I don't know, to be able to create more contacts or find friends. And for example, in Mexico, I was just 1 year. What can you do in 1 year?
Yeah.
I mean, I still did some things, but if you want something more, and I don't know how to explain, it's really difficult. If you want to create some kind of line, you know, that one concert lead to another and then to another and then to another, you have to spend more time in one place. Yeah, I don't know if I explained it correctly.
No, exactly. And because it's this build up, and also the contacts that you build up and the opportunities that's then created from there. Now, I understand it. And I think it's something that I think also I've been thinking about this as well, that you are so focused on what you study, you know, and practicing and getting that perfect, that it's almost that this, I can imagine that you then step out into the world and then it's like, okay, now I have to market myself.
Exactly. It's like you're out of your bubble. You know, you've been in your own little world. You were always practicing new repertoire, new composers. You're just digging into it every time. As older you are, you're going deeper and deeper. Because you understand it differently. What it is to be an interpreter, what it is to play the instrument. But then when you're stepping out, let's say, into the real world, you realize how huge it is. And somehow you also need time to realize, okay, what should I need to do? From where to start?
Yeah.
And for me, that particular moment was really, really difficult. I also can say that it was a little bit like aching, you know, it hurt.
Yeah.
Because I was really lost. In the beginning, I was really lost. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to start. At that particular time, I also had to deal with other problems in my personal life. So, and as I didn't know what to do, because I'm no longer a student, I don't have a teacher anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I can always ask, but still, I'm on my own. I need to manage to do it on my own, and I need to somehow to make it work. It was really, really difficult. Still, it is difficult, but I've already experienced. I know how it feels. I know when something is not working. I know what I need to do to make it work. Maybe it will take me more time, doesn't matter. Yeah. But I know what to do. I'm not that lost. I mean, the feeling that you are lost, that what made me feel scary. That the whole experience, it was, maybe to sum up, it was scary. Yeah.
But isn't it also this time that you now develop as the artist that you are supposed to? Because that time, I've spoken to also painters who tell me that they go to art school, and it's the moment that they step out of the art school that they actually develop their own style and their own way of doing it, and almost have that little bit of freedom more to do it their way. So maybe
true.
that's, maybe it's that transition that when you leave school, that you have that transition of then finding out, okay, but this is who I am, this is how I want to do it, and then with almost trial and error, trying to see, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, but again, so true. But again, it takes time.
Yeah.
For you to find out. It also the same happened with me as a musician. Let's say it was also the transition from a student musician to a I don't know, older, more mature, let's say, musician. Yeah. It is also a transition because as I said before, you no longer have a teacher. You cannot ask, okay, do I play this correctly? You should think how you should think it should sound. Now you are your own teacher. You are your own teacher. You are your own student, and you are your own audience. Somehow you are three different people in one. Yeah, because you should try to hear yourself from outside, from the perspective. Then, when you are detecting something that you want to correct, you are the student, you need to correct it. And then you need to try to think also, how would audience will receive, how they will hear this music material that now you are working on. So it's complicated. It takes time. I believe I'm still on it. It's just a work in progress,
But I can imagine that you're also self-critical, because when you come out of this process of studying and you work towards almost perfection, then you are self-critical when you do it on yourself, or maybe a bit hesitant also.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. But you need to be self-critical.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I am too much. I'm self-critical in music. I'm self-critical at job, and I'm self-critical at home. So.
Oh, really?
But that self-criticism that you are talking about, it's really necessary. Just a bit of it. It's like you are making a soup, and you need to put a little bit of salt in that. Not 1 cup of salt, because it would be too much, but a little bit, it's necessary. So that self-criticism, a little bit, I mean, the healthy portion is really necessary. In my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's true. But like you say, all things take time. And I always think that sometimes we go through periods where you need that sort of silence, or that sort of time where it's quiet, that you can figure out things yourself.
Yeah, completely true. And I would say also these difficult moments or periods, because in my case, it was really kind of a long period. It wasn't few months, it was maybe a few years that I was very lost. And I also didn't have so much success. I wanted to do things, but somehow they didn't result me really successful. But now when I think back, I appreciate that experience, because the way you told before, these things are making you the way you are right now. And the most important thing is that they are letting you and helping you to grow up, to make some conclusions, to rethink what now, okay, you did that. It didn't went well. What would you change right now? What can you do to you feel it better, to make the whole situation better? So without this maybe sad or unsuccessful experience, I mean, I cannot talk about everybody, but personal me, I know that I couldn't, I would not be able to move on. I would not be able to maybe later create something, or I don't know, or change something in my life that that would make me really happy. So that was, for me, this period, it was really, really challenging, really difficult, really unsuccessful. Maybe the perfect word was really unsuccessful, because I was trying a lot of things. And one unsuccessful thing, another, second, third, fourth. But I'm grateful that all things happened.
Well, I'm grateful that you're talking about this so honestly, because I think you hear so many stories where people, they leave out this part, and so many people go through that. And it's not just in music, it's in all
kind of areas of life.
Life that we go through this. And it's great to hear that it's necessary to go through that, and then you can look back. You cannot always see it while it happens, but if you step out of it and you look back and you think, okay, that was difficult, but I'm actually grateful in a way that happened.
At the end of the day, you really had to rethink all the experience you went through. And I'm completely sure that every of the experience that you lived, doesn't matter, it was a very nice experience, very funny, very lovely, or very sad, very unpleasant. All these kind of experience left a mark in you. And you have to rethink, you have to somehow make your own conclusion. What is left in you. What kind of mark left in you. And to talk about these things, it's not, maybe it doesn't make me look so successful or something like that, but to be really, really honest, I very much appreciate in life the honesty in people, honesty in, I don't know, in all the things, true things, the reality of everything. And I want to be also like that. I want to be real to myself, just to begin with. So if I'm not being real with myself, then I don't know, I'm just lying.
Exactly. No, but it's
and
true.
I don't want to.
No, but it's true. And it also, you are in a position now where you're teaching, and you can also be of help to somebody in future, maybe to one of your students. You can be of help, because I'm sure everybody gets to that point. And I'm sure many artists and many musicians get to that point where they realize, okay, now I've done all the studying, but where to now? And if more people talk about this, then maybe there's more understanding also. And also on the public side, on the people who are not musicians, understanding that it's not an easy road, and it's not just, I always say, and then this is why I do this project, is that we go to a concert hall and it's all gold and it's all wonderful and everybody's dressed up. But, the musicians, and you all give this wonderful performance, but there's a story behind this performance. It's not just that performance, it's the life behind it, and it's the story behind it, and it's the struggle and the perseverance and all that goes behind, that gives you this specific performance that you are witnessing.
I don't know, I actually ask myself quite often why people do not want to share maybe some unpleasant experience, or what they needed to go through. But I remember one story. It really started, it made me start to think about it also. There was one girl, I don't know her, but it was a few years ago on social media. I believe it was Facebook. Some girl, she was also a musician. Just now I cannot remember or she was a violinist or violist, but doesn't matter. She wrote a really, really huge post. I mean, it was really a long story about her. I think it was about stage frightening, what she had to deal with. And she really wrote that post not from the beautiful, side of the story. That, I dealt with it and now I'm perfectly fine and I can play on stage without any fear. No, she really went through her psychological thing, what was happening with her mind, how she was feeling physically before going on stage. And I remember I was reading it, and I started to shiver also because I also
Really?
experienced, what it feels like to go on stage, and she wrote almost exactly, every detail, how you feel before going on stage, and she was feeling like that for a lot of time. And I don't know, I don't remember it now how it ended, but for me, the beauty of it, that she shared not the beautiful side of the story, that she shared really something really personal, that maybe I'm completely sure that a lot of people, also musicians in particular, don't want to talk about it, because when you go on stage you have to be this almost a warrior, you go and you are not afraid of everything and you are doing everything perfect. But the truth is, I think that all of us, we feel that anxiety and that adrenaline, that sometimes that what's really pushes you to do your best. But sometimes if it is too much, it can really block you. It can block your body, can block your muscles, even your mind. You don't remember, you are not well oriented. Tight. Where you at, what is going on, and in that case there is a problem. There is a huge problem, and as a musician you really need to face it. So I really remember that story of this girl that I never met before. It really I don't know, it had some kind of shock in me, but in a positive way. I really admire that someone in these days where everybody is sharing, how wonderful life there is and how they're successful and all this stuff. She went and she shared something that I believe that it was difficult for her to begin with, and that topic that it's really complicated. I mean, that all of us probably are feeling in some or other level, but don't want to talk about it. And she did. And I really admire these kind of people that they want to tell the truth,
exactly.
Without facing, without makeup, without anything. Just the truth, the way you feel, and what kind of problems do you have and how you deal with them.
Exactly. And I've had in the past musicians or artists that tell me, well, the public is not, they are not interested in our struggle. They just want to see the best. But and I've thought about it a lot and thought, okay, maybe that's true. But on the other hand, I think we all know the life stories of the great composers, and we all understand when we start reading about their personal struggles and the things that they went through, and suddenly the music, we can relate to the music so much better because we can understand that they are people too, and they have their problems too. So I think it's always so brave when somebody can admit or can say, look, I've been through this time and this is what happened and this is how I felt, because they are bound to be somebody that can also relate to it. Like you say, you had the shivers because you could understand what she was saying.
Yeah, I also do believe that, for example, as you said about the composers, no one of the greatest composers had wonderful life, you know, full of everything. All of them had struggles, different kind of struggles, but almost all of them. And when you know these stories also, that is the music. But again, I cannot speak for everybody, but personally in me, it has much more meaning, the music of that composer in particular, and much more impact, as if I knew that this composer had wonderful life, he was well, and everything was okay with him. No, there's you have to have something that's, you know, some question mark. That's when you really started to be more interested. I don't know, it's my opinion.
Yeah. No, I think it's human. I think it's human to be attracted to humanness, you know, to somebody.
Yeah, you said very nice.
Because then you think, okay, I'm not alone in this. I think it's this whole idea. And I think also with the pandemic, we had this feeling. It was the first time in such a long time that the whole world, everybody was in the same position. You know, and I think that also, that gave us this sort of strength to think, I'm not alone in this. Everybody is struggling. And
actually, that's what's really. You need to know that you are not alone in this world, like you know, especially right now. And coming back to that story of that girl, when I read her article, I fell for her, that it was so difficult, that she was struggling and everything, but somehow I also felt relief that, you know, I'm not the only one that has these feelings before going on stage. I mean, not the feelings that I cannot control it, but still that I'm not the only one that maybe has a fear, that maybe has too much anxiety and whatever. It really helps you to feel different when you know that you are not the only one. And a few days ago, I spoke with one colleague. She's also a pianist, and we were discussing about the concerts. And she also said, you know, I feel the same way. I really sometimes it's frustrating. I'm trying to, when you try to find a concert to play, and somehow I felt relief. I felt, oh God, I'm not the only one that feels the same way. I mean, because sometimes when you look around, and especially social media, you think that everybody is living the best lives you can imagine, and you are the only one that just trying to find something, you know, that you are on the way, you are on the path, but somehow you didn't find, but everybody already did. And that feeling, it's not so nice. I mean, and also when you had a hard day or something went wrong, and you're scrolling, you know, through the social media, and you see that it looks like everybody cannot be more happier. To know that you are not the only one in the world that has other feelings, that success, or you are not sometimes so lucky, and you have fear, and you have doubts, and sometimes you are lost. It really, for me personally, it helps me. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit weird to hear, but it helps me to move around, you know?
Exactly, yeah. I always feel like that when it's winter in Austria, or when it's winter in Europe, and I see everybody's beach holidays on Facebook.
For example, or even worse, when it's summer and it looks like everybody are on desert island or on some kind of exotic island, and you are in your home. So it's really, it's not nicest feeling.
No.
Somehow you know that social media, it's actually other topic.
then you want to see a picture of another person in their home, because then you know, you're not alone. Yeah. No, I know the feeling exactly. But Giedrė, tell me now, what is the wish for you?
My wish.
Or the wishes. You have to express your wishes here on the channel, because wishes seem to come true.
Yeah, I also believe that wishes are come true. I don't know, maybe. Okay, can I say one personal wish and one?
You can say many wishes.
Okay, if I can say whatever I want, that I also wish for you in the beginning. I want to wish you good luck with your project, with this beautiful project that you have. I believe that it's very important what you're doing. It's very beautiful, it's very kind, and I believe that with the time it will have more impact as maybe it has right now. So I really wish you good luck and all the best with the project.
I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I really wish that everybody, all the humanity will find somehow peace, that we will find a way to live with each other in peace. I really believe it's possible. And that all of us would be healthy. And if we'll be healthy, we will be happy. I mean, I believe it's the most important thing in life. Mm. If you are healthy, you can do whatever you want. Exactly. You can find your own happiness. Mm. But if you are not healthy, then the things are starting to be more complicated. Yeah. So I really wish for those things.
And for yourself?
For me, so basically the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe really I do. For myself, I can only wish also peace, to find. I'm in some kind of process to find my interior peace, to be okay with everything, and that all my loved ones would be happy and healthy.
And you know that interior peace, your inner peace, is also so much important, because then you find your way, then you find your flow and where you are supposed to go. And I think that's so important that we do that. So and you need also quiet time to do that. You really need to have time to understand what your purpose is in life, I think.
Yeah, I also think like that. For me, it's important to be in peace, firstly with myself, and I know if I would find this peace that I'm looking for with myself, I would be okay with the whole world that is surrounding me.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. And I think this is a beautiful wish to have. Yeah, I really think so.
I really would like it to come true.
Yeah, it will. But like you say, it's also time and things.
Yeah.
I think it's sometimes also in life, we have this idea that you can only be happy or successful when something huge happens.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But actually you are successful and happy when it's with the little things. That's really what brings this happiness and this content feeling. So
but these words, I totally agree, but it sounds easy, but to feel that way, it's much more difficult to accomplish.
Yeah.
Because as human beings, I think we have that tendency, to feel happy when we have, I don't know, when we buy a car, or when we, I don't know, travel to some exotic place.
Yeah.
And we do not appreciate enough the small things, the small details. that we are healthy, that we have our families, that we have, you know, the bed where to sleep. And these things, it seems small things, it seems like something that it's supposed to be like that, but no, half of the world doesn't have that.
Exactly.
And you need to appreciate.
No, that's absolutely true. But Giedrė, it was so great talking to you, and I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to talk to you, because I absolutely love your insight into these things. I love your honesty and your openness about it, and I think it's so important. And this interview will go out in the universe, and the right person will hear this, what you were talking about, and would need it and would appreciate also your story, to hear your story. So I'm really grateful that you shared this.
Thanks to you, really. Thanks for having me. It was the same pleasure was to chat with you and to meet you and to be here to speak to you. And as I said before, I wish you the best with the program.
Thank you so much.
I really believe that with the time it will grow up and it will be bigger and bigger.
And I send it out into online so that the right people can hear it. So that's the most important thing. I hope my wish is that I meet you in person one day.
Yeah, as I said, I really invite you to come to Lithuania.
I'm going to come to Lithuania one day, really, because all the people I've met from there are so lovely.
So now you have a lot of reasons to come.
I've heard it's a beautiful country and there's a lot of wonderful food to eat as well.
Yeah, yeah. If you like potato, then you have a lot of options.
I love potato. I love potato.
I would gladly will show you around.
Thank you so much. And whenever you come to Vienna, let me know.
Okay, maybe I will.
And when you do a concert here, please let me know.
Okay, for sure. Okay,
have a lovely afternoon.
You too.
And we'll see each other soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.